The snow fell gently over the empty streets when Officer Ryan spotted a man sitting alone on the curb, shivering, clutching a cardboard sign that read, "Dog for sale, $20." Beside him sat a German shepherd, thin but loyal, eyes full of quiet devotion. Ryan approached, expecting a scam, but what he heard broke him. "He's all I've got," the veteran whispered, voice trembling. "But he deserves a better life." Ryan reached into his wallet, unaware that the $20 he handed over would buy far more than a dog. It would buy a miracle that healed two broken souls. Snow drifted across the empty main street as Officer Ryan Hale pulled his patrol car to the side of the road. The heater hummed softly, but the chill in the air carried a weight no machine could warm. That's when he saw it. An old man sitting on the curb beneath a flickering streetlight, a cardboard sign propped beside him. "Dog for sale, $20." Ryan stepped out, boots crunching against the snow. The man looked up, his eyes red and tired, his gloved hands trembling as he held onto the leash of a German shepherd pressed against his leg. The dog's fur was wet, its ribs faintly visible beneath the coat. Still, it sat upright, alert, loyal, guarding its master from the cold world around them. "You selling him?" Ryan asked quietly. The man nodded. "His name's Rex," he murmured. "He's all I got left. But I can't feed him anymore." His voice cracked on the last words that Ryan's throat tightened. He knelt beside them, studying the man's weathered face, the kind of face that had seen war, loss, and too many lonely winters. "You a vet?" Ryan asked softly. The man nodded again, whispering, "Used to be. Now I'm just someone trying to do right by an old friend." Ryan reached for his wallet, fingers stiff from the cold. $20. It wasn't much, but the moment felt heavier than any transaction he'd ever made. The veteran's hands shook as he accepted the folded bill, his eyes glistening beneath the falling snow. He looked at the German shepherd, Rex, and whispered, "Be a good soldier, boy." Rex tilted his head, sensing something final in his master's tone. The dog whimpered softly, refusing to move. The veteran swallowed hard, kneeling to press his forehead against Rex's. "You saved my life more than once," he murmured. "Now it's my turn to let you live yours." Ryan stood frozen, his breath fogging in the air. It felt wrong, like taking away a piece of someone's soul. But he also knew that walking away would be worse. He took the leash gently, his voice low and steady. "I'll take good care of him, sir. You have my word." The old man managed a faint smile through trembling lips. He raised a slow, shaky hand to his temple and gave a final salute, not to a fellow soldier, but to a loyal friend. Then, without another word, he turned and disappeared into the curtain of snow, leaving Ryan and Rex standing in silence beneath the streetlight. That night, Ryan brought Rex home. The warmth of the small apartment contrasted sharply with the blizzard outside, yet Rex seemed uneasy, pacing near the door, ears twitching at distant sounds only he could hear. Ryan placed a bowl of food on the floor, but Rex didn't touch it. Instead, he sat facing the window, watching the snow fall with silent intensity. Over the next few days, Ryan noticed strange patterns. Whenever sirens echoed through the streets, Rex would tense, tail stiff, eyes alert, as if awaiting an order. At night, the dog would curl up near the front door, occasionally whining low, a mournful sound that pierced Ryan's chest. It wasn't defiance. It was longing. One freezing evening during patrol, Ryan decided to bring Rex along in the back seat of his cruiser. The dog sat perfectly still, gazing out at the streets as if searching for something or someone. Suddenly, Rex barked sharply, startling Ryan. He pulled over. Rex pressed his nose to the window, growling softly. Following the dog's instinct, Ryan stepped into an alley and froze. Lying half-buried beneath the snow was a motionless figure. A worn coat, a familiar beanie. His heart sank as recognition hit him. It was Jack, the veteran. Rex whimpered, then bolted forward, curling beside his fallen master. The hospital room was silent except for the faint beeping of a heart monitor. Jack lay pale beneath thin white sheets, a patch of frostbite marking his cheek. Ryan sat by the bed, his uniform still damp from snow. At his feet, Rex rested with his head on Jack's arm, refusing to move even for a moment. When Jack's eyelids fluttered open, confusion washed over his face, then disbelief. His cracked lips trembled as he whispered, "Rex?" The dog's ears perked instantly. With a soft whine, Rex pressed closer, tail wagging gently. Jack's eyes filled with tears as his trembling hand found the familiar fur. You found me? He rasped. Ryan swallowed the lump in his throat. He never stopped looking, he said quietly. He led me right to you. For a moment, Jack couldn't speak. His fingers clutched the dog's neck, pulling him closer as if afraid he might disappear again. The room filled with an emotion that needed no words, a bond that neither war nor poverty could break. Ryan looked away, blinking fast, pretending to check his radio. But deep down, he knew he'd just witnessed something sacred, a loyalty that defied reason. When Jack finally spoke again, his voice was steady but soft. Guess he still remembers his orders, he said. Protect and serve. In the weeks that followed, Ryan made sure Jack was never alone. He visited the hospital daily, bringing warm meals and sitting quietly while Jack told stories of the war, stories heavy with loss, courage, and the quiet pain that comes after. Rex never left Jack's side, his head always resting on the veteran's knee. When Jack was finally discharged, Ryan helped him apply for a veteran support program. The community rallied around them. Officers chipped in to buy him groceries, and a local shelter offered him a small apartment. The first night there, Jack sat on the floor beside Rex, whispering, "We're home, buddy." The dog's tail thumped softly in response. Ryan visited often, usually with coffee and old case stories. But one evening, when he stopped by, he found something new, Jack laughing. Rex was rolling on his back, paws in the air, a squeaky toy in his mouth. The sound filled the small apartment like sunlight breaking through a storm. Ryan smiled. "You look good, Jack." The veteran nodded, eyes glistening. "It's been a long time since I felt that way." Rex barked once, nudging Ryan's leg as if to say thank you. And for the first time, Ryan realized that sometimes saving one life means saving three: the soldier, his dog, and your own heart. Months later, the town square glowed under the spring sun. Flags fluttered gently as veterans gathered for the memorial ceremony. Among them stood Ryan, his uniform crisp, and beside him, Jack, now healthier, shoulders straight, his old strength returning. At his feet sat Rex, wearing a small service badge on his collar, tail still but proud. When the national anthem began, the crowd rose in silence. Jack lifted his trembling hand in salute, a gesture that spoke of sacrifice and resilience. And then, to everyone's amazement, Rex sat tall beside him, ears alert, mimicking the gesture in his own way. Chest out, gaze forward, unwavering. The crowd gasped, then erupted into applause. Ryan glanced at Jack, smiling. "He's still a soldier," he whispered. Jack nodded, tears brimming. He always was. After the ceremony, as the crowd dispersed, Ryan turned to them both. "You know," he said softly, "I paid $20 for a dog, but I think I got a family instead." Jack chuckled through his tears. "You didn't buy him, son. You earned him." The three of them stood there for a moment. A cop, a veteran, and a dog once forgotten, united not by rank or duty, but by love, loyalty, and the quiet miracle of second chances.